Right, top of the half width, we then have I've Become an Omega Today, which is a one-shot. I do think I've read it, and it does say something about the series that I don't remember anything. I think it's about a guy that's like in the Omegaverse. He's being recategorized from one, maybe a beta, to be an Omega or something, and things happen because of that. Then we have I've Been Killing Slimes 300 years and maxed out my level 1 to 9, and I am behind on this series. There is at least 10 out, if not more. I started to get a little bit bored, but Ben did keep reading it. It is an isekai where she has become overpowered by just slowly killing slimes on her walks to town, and then she kind of ends up recruiting or like adopting various cutesy girls. Like, it's another one of those where like the full cast seems to be all cute women, which does make it tricky sometimes to tell them apart. At least they have like different abilities, which makes it easier. And then we have a spin-off, I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 years and maximum level, The Red Dragon Academy Girls 1. I haven't read it. It was in Sci-Fi Daily Deals. I really like the sort of differences they do to tell the difference between the series. The Demon Minister was the same. That one was purple with a different bit too. This is like a slime, and that's meant to be like a dragon. I really like that. J.K. Haru is a sex worker in Another World 1 to 6. I am now a couple volumes behind on reading what I've got. I do like it. It is a slightly more, I would say, darker isekai. It shows the darker side. It is a smut, in that she has been isekai'd and the only way she can survive is by working at a brothel. Now, slightly thankfully, she has found herself working at a brothel with women that do kind of care about the staff, but it's still hard, tricky, and there's some not nice clients. I would also recommend, if you're interested in a more darker, explicit isekai that's not generic, plain boy, booby women. Then we have JoJo Part 1, 1 to 3, that is complete. And then behind this press box from Easy Press, we have Part 2. Let's just move this. We have Part 2, 1 to 4 complete, and Part 3, 1 to 10 complete. Then we have Part 4, 1 to 7, and 8 and 9 complete. And then Part 5, 1 to 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. I am missing Volume 8 before that is complete. And also Stone Ocean Part 1 is out. I say I'm missing Volume 8. This is one of the problems. I've been shopping and there's other stuff that I've picked up. I'm not putting it away mid-collection tour, which is like, I'm like missing it, but it's over there. But I'm not putting it away just until I finished filming. So I have picked up 8, and I do have Stone Ocean. So there is a gap there, but there isn't a gap, but there is a gap. Ugh. I'm very behind on JoJo. I wanted to try and read JoJo in 2023. That was one of my goals, and I ended up changing it for trying to read as many volume 1s as I could, though I did only self-inflict that goal upon myself like September time, so I've not really gunned for it either. I want to set myself a proper goal early in 2024 and then try and stick to it. What that goal is yet, I don't know. Then we have Jujutsu Kaisen 0 to 21, and that is up to date. I am very, very behind on reading it. It's just, I think I'm so daunted now because of all the hype. I'm scared, but I really, really desperately want to catch up because there are some, like, people still speak of it so fondly. I do think I will enjoy it. It's just, I've gotten scared off now because of other series. I have Jungle Juice Volume 1, another one very, very kindly sent to me by Yum Press. I enjoyed this way more than I thought I would. I thought I'd find it really creepy, but actually it's really, really pretty. I think the art style is like such nice, like, watercolory almost. It just caught me slightly by surprise, but I like it. And it's like actiony, fighty, kind of like X-Men, but with bugs. I would recommend. Hopefully going to get another volume for Christmas. Then we have Juni Taisen 1 to 4, and that is complete. I think this is an excellent short shonen battle series to recommend to someone if they're interested in trying that, but don't want to commit to like the long ones like One Piece, Bleach. Even Jujutsu Kaisen at 21 volumes is a long series. I think this is an excellent one to recommend. It's like the battle royale between the Chinese Zodiac. Then we have Just Friends, which is a GL one-shot. I wasn't that keen on this one. I didn't really feel like I was reading a manga at first. It was definitely felt more like a graphic novel, and I didn't like the disconnect between the past and the present day, and also the implication at the end, spoiler, that they kind of just cheat on their current partners with each other. Yeah, so I'm mixed on that one. I really like the spine. I love this bubbleness, but the rest of it, eh. Then we have Kaguya-sama 1 to 18 and 19 to 26. Another series where I'm like, yeah, I'm up to date, though 27 is just out, and I know I'm up to date because I have 27 over there. Kaguya-sama is one of the last series that, like, predates me making content, making videos, posts and everything. A lot of other series that I started before have now wrapped up. Promised Neverland, Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone, at least of like the Shonen Jump stuff. And it's just so weird that another one's ended. I'm slightly putting off reading my 27 a little bit. I love Kaguya-sama. I especially love up to 14, which is like the volume when it happens. I feel like it then took a dip for a few arcs. But I do think it like regained its groove for a few volumes before the end, and I had been enjoying it again, but I definitely felt like I went through a slump reading it for a while, for a few arcs. I don't know if other people feel the same way. Then we have Kaiju Girl Caramelized 1 to 6. It has been over a year since volume 6 came out. I think 7 now is finally up for pre-order sometime next year. This is such a pretty series. This is one of my prettiest series in my collection. I think it's gorgeous. I would very much recommend. It is gorgeous. It is about a girl who, when she experiences strong emotions, she turns into a kaiju. For the most part, this has been okay through her life. Unfortunately, she has met a boy and now has feelings for the boy and is struggling to manage herself now. And it's so adorable and lovely, and I would recommend. There is only 6 out at the moment, but there are more, but it also doesn't release often, so I'm really sorry about that. And we have Kaiju number 8, and we have 8 volumes of Kaiju number 8, and that makes me so happy! 9, I believe, is out imminently, or maybe next year at this point. I'm so lost, though next year isn't that far away anymore. I mean, this video might go up next year. I need to check my schedule, actually. I like Kaiju number 8, it's fine though. I don't think it's like the best. I feel like I go through the volumes really quickly. I do like we've got rainbow, we've got lots of different colours, makes me very happy. In this world, kaijus are a thing, and this guy in his 30s has always wanted to be one of the people who can go and fight kaiju. Unfortunately, he's never been able to pass the exam, so instead he works in cleaning up the dead kaiju once the teams are through with them. And then through a series of events, he ends up merging with the kaiju somehow, and becomes more powerful, and he ends up being able to actually join the program this time because of his enhanced kaiju abilities. I'm interested to see how long this one runs. It's probably one of my more favourite current Shonen Jump series, I want to say. And we have Kakegurui 1 to 9 and 10 to 16, and that is up to date, as well as Kakegurui Twin 1 to 9 and 11, which is not up to date and behind on these. So the main series, Kakegurui, is, it's all about gambling. I really like the games and the rules of the games. I'm kind of glad that we finally approached the end of this, election arc thing, which seems to have gone on for, 20,000 volumes, even though there's only 16 out. But I think also I caught up to date with, volume 11 or 12 way back when, and then the volumes do not come out frequently at all, and I think it's just made it a whole lot harder to stay up to date, especially if they're mid-game at the end of a volume, and I'm like, I don't remember what was happening, I don't remember the rules, who's winning, what's happening. I don't really know what the end game of the series is. I don't know. I wonder what's gonna happen next, unless I've just forgotten completely. And Twin is a prequel around this character, Mary, but I haven't started reading this because I didn't get many of these volumes till during this year sometime. I am also behind. I want to say there's 13 of this out. No. Also, how come Kakegurui does different colours but Twin doesn't? Where's the black on Kakegurui Twin? Starting off, we have Kakareka 1 to 8, I haven't actually read my volume 8 yet because this releases like once a year, once every other year, and I find it's just really hard to get into one volume at a time. I really enjoyed reading the 1 to 6 when I read them together when I first started picking up the series, and then reading 7 on its own, like, I didn't really get into it just because it had been so long, so I'm kind of just gonna wait. I might even just wait till the series is complete. I don't know how long that's gonna take. I don't think it even releases that often in Japan, so it's some patience on this one. This is like a yokai, otherworld romance with food. I was expecting there to be more food. The food does still look nice to look at in the series, but it's more about like the yokai and different formalities and such like that. Kamen Rider Kuga 1 and 2, that is behind. I'm not up to date with this anymore. I think there's like 4 or 5, maybe. Actually, I have no idea, but I'm very behind. I heard there was some controversy around this series because they used... Did they use AI to translate some of the Japanese to English? I'm not sure if it was this series. I could be wrong. Haven't read it. I had sort of picked it up for Ben. And then I've just not kept to date with picking it up because I don't think he started reading it yet. Then we have Kami-sama Kiss. So we have 1 to 16, 18, 20 to 25. And that is really, really close to being complete. There are 25 volumes to make it complete. All of these I have bought for 3 for 2 price or cheaper. I have not paid any crazy prices. I'm really, really pleased with myself for this. Just patience. In fact, quite a few of these I have gotten secondhand. Once again, can you tell which ones? Apart from the one which has like a sticker on it because it was a library copy. I'd say another 10 volumes or so were bought secondhand. From what I can tell, the one that's a bit tricky to find at the moment is 19. 19 is one that I see only for like RRP or above. And yep, patience. Just having some patience and I'll get there. Karate Survivor in Another World 1 to 4. This is an okay isekai. He has no overpowered abilities or anything, except he was just really good at karate in his previous life, and he's carried those skills over. It's a bit more brutal, a bit more gory. I don't think there's really anything else remarkable about it, personally. It's still a good read. I enjoy it as an isekai, but I don't think there's much to like really sell it and make it separate to other isekai. And we have a chunk of Carnival 1, 2, 5, 7, and 9. So that is not up to date. I want to say it's complete at like 13 or so volumes. Most of these have been bought secondhand or in sale sections. One of these is actually new. It's plastic wrapped. I hadn't realised it was a plastic wrap series because I only seem to buy it secondhand. Some of the prices I've paid for this has really varied from like £3 to £10. It is a chunky Omni from Yen Press. It's going to cost a little more. I want to say RRPs in store between 16 and like 20 quid per volume. So paying some of those crazy low prices is excellent. But it takes, I mean, I've been collecting this series for a few years now. It's not a quick quick like process. It takes time to slowly accumulate and find them. I love the spines. I love just the curly font for Carnival. Then we have Kimono Friends Welcome to Chapari Park, which is a one-shot. I think I paid only a few pounds for it secondhand. I have not yet read it. I love it. It's got a rainbow spine. Next shelf we have Killing Stalking 1 and 2. Got them both secondhand. I want to say for about £8, £9 each, which is pretty good considering its RRP is above 20 quid a volume. I am very behind. I think there's like 4 volumes out now, but like it's hard to pay anything above what I've paid for these. I'm just gonna have some patience. I believe it's a manhwa. I also hear it actually might be a bit horror-y, so hopefully it's not too much for me. Then we have Kimono Jien 1 to 3. Once again, very behind on this series. It's almost on double digits, I want to say, in English. I quite enjoyed it. There isn't a particular reason I've not picked up any more yet, except I noticed it started to get a bit more pricey, $12.99, $13.99. I'm like, no. I might try to see if I can wait for a second hand, but don't know. I'm far enough behind and I haven't read my volumes 2 and 3 yet, so I'm not that bothered. I really did enjoy it though. It was like a mystery monster agency solving mysteries. That's what I was trying to get at. Then we have Kenka Mancha Otome 1 and 2. That is complete at 2 volumes. I have not yet read it. One I got, actually I think I got them both from Traveling Man thinking about it. And we have some Kimi to Doke. We have 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 25, 28. And I have gotten a chunk for Christmas, but they're not on the shelves yet, obviously. Another seemingly out of print shoujo series that has had a whole chunk of reprints, which is excellent to see. Just need to slowly accumulate them. I think with my Christmas stuff I'll be like 5 volumes short, 6 volumes short maybe, which is remarkable considering how out of print this series seemed to be only a few years ago. Then we have Kingdom Hearts. So I have Kingdom Hearts 1 and 3 from Tokyo Pop, Kingdom Hearts 2 Volume 1 from Tokyo Pop, and then Kingdom Hearts 2 1 Omni from Yam Press. So I started to pick these up secondhand, not realising they never actually finished publishing them. So I'm going to start picking these up instead, even though I don't like Omnis as much. I got this in a Travelling Man sale section for probably under £10, I want to say. I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet. They're pretty battered. They even have some doodles in from like a kid or something. I have no idea. Oh, and we have Kingdom Hearts 3 1. And I do think another one is out, but it seems to release 1 volume every few years or so. I did actually watch Ben play Kingdom Hearts 3. I really liked the collecting of the lucky emblems around different stages. So that was something I did. Less fussed about the rest of it. I mean, I like Disney. I don't know why I was less fussed, but I like collecting the lucky emblems. And we have Kingdoms of Ruin 2, 3, 4, and 6. All these bought in sale sections for like $1.99, $3.99 each. I haven't started reading it. I don't have volume 1. King's Beast 1 to 10, not quite up to date, I think. I did decide to stop reading it until I read Dawn of the Arcana. So Dawn of the Arcana is set in the same universe as King's Beast. Apparently they didn't really interlap, and then I saw some people saying that actually you do gain there is some knowledge that helps if you've read Dawn of the Arcana when reading this. So I decided to collect Dawn of the Arcana, which I have now done, and then I'll come back to this. I can't imagine this is going to go on for much longer. I don't think any of her series or Itoma series have gone on past like 13 volumes, so I imagine, unless it's going to be the new exception to the rule, that there won't be many more. And we have Kirby's Manga Mania 1/6, that is up to date. I am not up to date with reading it. I want to say 3 or 4 is what I've read. Ben is up to date with reading it though. It is a video game manga. It's interesting reading in the back. Similar to Mario, there's like a Kirby manga in Japan, and this is like a collection of chapters put together for English release. And it sounds like in the back of some of them, the manga artist is surprised how many they're still releasing in English. Like, I had to go and find some more or something like that. Which is, I think, almost a shame that it didn't happen with the Mario one, that we've only got 1 volume of that, whereas we've got like 6 more of this, because I've not actually played a Kirby game unless you count Smash, which basically Kirby is the main character. But I have played a hecking ton of Mario games, like most of them. Anywho, very strange humour considering it's aimed at children, but that might just be me. Then we have Kiss Him Not Me 1 to 14, and that is complete. I do like it. It has questionable themes around the main character and her appearance, but I did it was like one of my first introductions to a reverse harem, and I enjoyed it, and I liked how it ended a lot. Like, it was, good. Who she ended up with and how it happened, very much enjoyed. Next we have Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight 1 to 12, and I find this series interesting when talking about age gaps, because their age gap in this is the same as Dreaming Sun, and I enjoyed this way more than I enjoyed Dreaming Sun. I feel like one of the issues with an age gap is the difference of maturity, and the characters in this, the younger character is very mature for their age, and the older character is very immature for their age because of circumstances on how they've grown up, how they've been raised, like just what they do for a living and such. So I almost feel like their maturity balance is in the middle, and also there's a whole chunk of like concerns about age gaps a bit more, I felt, in Dreaming Sun. I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to explain myself away. It did take me an age to find volume 11 though, and then I actually binge read a whole chunk of the series, and I very much enjoyed reading it that way. I find a lot of like, I want to say slice of life series where characters look more realistic. I prefer binging just to make it easier to remember who is who. Kitchen Princess 1 and 2 Omnis. There is 4 to complete it, but I'm fairly sure that 3 and 4 are out of print and I don't really see them, apart from really, really crazy prices. So I don't know if I'll ever complete it, but I have not yet started reading it. Night Blooms Behind Castle Walls Volume 1. It is a 3-volume series, I have read this volume. I thought it was okay. It was about a young girl who wants to become a knight, and she's now a squire. She's working in the castle and training up to become a knight. And it's kind of like slice of lifey medieval times. Not a huge amount happened. It was okay. It just wasn't. Not much happened, but it was kind of nice. Knight Captain and New Princess to Be Volume 1. There is at least one more volume out to get for Christmas. This is childhood friends Prince and this person. She becomes captain of the knights. He's in love with her and they end up being engaged, and she's very, very shy about it and confused and thinks she's pretending, but actually no, he does just want to marry her because he loves her. I loved the drama in this. There was kidnappings, murder attempts, poisonings, dramatic murder attempts, all of that. My only issue was all of that was in this volume and it all resolved in this volume. I kind of wish they'd spread them out a little bit, but I'm not sure if I can complain too much because it was just the kind of thing I like, just rapid fire. Then we have Knight of the Ice 1, 2, 4, 6 and 8. Finally managed to get a volume 1 like only a couple of weeks ago. Otherwise I seem to only be able to collect even numbers of the series. I haven't started reading it because I got it really recently and I don't know much about it apart from I assume ice skating. Koi Monogatari Love Stories 1 and 2 up to date. I'm not sure if it's complete. I haven't started reading it. I've got my second volume second hand though, for a pretty good price. Very happy. Then we have Komi Can't Communicate 1 to 19 and 20 to 27. That is up to date. Komi is one of my favourite series of all time. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people find it boring. I don't care. I don't care. It is one of my favourite. I absolutely love seeing the development of Komi, especially as someone else who also had communication issues when they were younger and struggled to just talk or say anything or have a presence. Just reading Komi is just so refreshing. It just warms my heart to see her do so well and get better and make so many friends, and everyone is so kind, and seeing everyone else develop as well, because it's not just Komi now anymore. There's so many other people sort of improving themselves and doing better because of the people they have around them, and this volume was excellent. It might be one of my favourite volumes alongside, where is it? This one? If you know, you know. And then I got a cute little Komi Nendoroid and she's doing the cat thing. We have Komomo oh my goodness. Komomo Confisery. I've never been able to pronounce this. 1 to 5, that is complete. I mostly got these secondhand. I'm not sure I got any of them new, actually, thinking about it. It is a romance based on like patisseries. Girl, very rich, ends up losing everything and ends up working in a guy's confectionery shop. Oh dear. I haven't finished reading it. I've only read the first like half of the series because then I didn't have volume 4 for a long time. It was kind of cute. It's not amazing, but it's cute. Then we have Konosuba 1 to 15. I'm not sure if that's up to date anymore. And Konosuba and Explosion on This Wonderful World 1 to 5. That is complete at 5 volumes. I like Konosuba. Konosuba is like the main thing that introduced me to isekai as a concept. I think now in hindsight, having read lots of other isekai, I'm not sure I'd call it like as good as I thought it was when I first started reading it, but I do have a lot of nostalgia for the series, which helps. And we've got Rainbow Spines, though why would they put 2 blue next to each other? The absolute animals. I do like Konosuba though, hence I have also got a little aqua thing, and it's a sitting one. No, a lot of people don't like the sitting ones, but I do because it sits cutely on the edge of my shelves. How adorable is that? An Explosion on This Wonderful World is a prequel based on Megumin and how she ended up the way she is with the abilities that she has, with the people that we know around her, where they came from, and how she, As we have Kowloon Generic Romance 1 to 5, I think that might be up to date. It might be at the time of filming. 6 might be out by now. I haven't read my 4 or 5. I don't understand Kowloon. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what we're working towards. Things are just a bit weird. There's some strange mysteries. And then otherwise, like, what else is happening? Everyone seems to love it, and I'm just so confused. I don't, like, what is the goal? What is the aim of the story? Where are we going? I don't know. Is it an interesting read? Yes. Do I like the characters? Also yes. I just don't really know what's happening. And we have Kubo, Let Me Be Invisible 1-9, mostly up to date. I have become a sucker for this kind of series, the whole really cute, awkward, they both like each other but they're really, really shy. And this is the one that like cinched it for me. Oh, you didn't see that. I think this is actually complete really soon. I want to say it's like 11 volumes maybe before it's complete. I do like it. It's quite a nothing series. I'm not sure if I'd recommend it, but I enjoy it. Rescue the Nancy. Then we have Kuma Bear 1-7 up to date. Isekai, adorable, overpowered bear costume. Main character's called Yuna, just like this cat. Yuna. Oh. That was dramatic, Yuna. She does always seem to be up there the moment I start recording. Hey ho. Once again, like this, Ben has actually been binging a bunch of the light novel and has also been really enjoying it. It is cute and lovely, and the bear powers are so adorable. And we have Kuroko's Basketball, 1-4, 9-12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 23, 24, 29, 30. A few of these have been bought in store, a lot of these have been bought second hand. It's crazy to think that I have like just about half the series, because it is 30 omnis, 30 volumes, 15 omnis, and I have 8, so that's like just about half-ish. I've been slightly putting off reading it. Apparently people say that if I'm to read any sports manga, I should read it before I read Slam Dunk, because Slam Dunk ruins all of the sports manga. So I am now concerned about how much sports manga do I need to read before I can read my Slam Dunk. Surely this will still be good. A lot of people seem to really love this one still. And we have Ladies on Top 1-4 up to date. I think this series completes at 5 or 6 volumes. Unfortunately, it is a bit more pricey with being a steamship, large 7 seas title. It has slightly grown on me. I would say it's probably the one... I'm just going to say one of the most vanilla steamships, but not necessarily in like topics. But in terms of what you see as a reader, you don't tend to see that much. I'd say that the steamy topics are more discussed, and there's a whole lot about feelings and consent and discussions in relationships, which is still very important. I like the hardcore smut because I'm a filthy degenerate. But that's not to say that I think it's bad. It just, in terms of like what I'm looking for in a steamship title, this one almost is a bit too safe for me. Or what does that just paint something awful about me as a person? Maybe. As we have Lady Snowblood Volume 1, a friend of my sister's actually gave this to me because she was doing a clear out and had some manga she didn't want. Yeah, it is a very, very hard series to collect and find for expensive. I think there's 4 volumes to make it complete. I have not dared to try to pick up any more. I'm even slightly scared to try and read it. What if I like get crumbs on it or something? As we have Laid Back Camp 1-5 and oh no, wrong place. As we have Laid Back Camp 1-5 and 10-13. Yep, I have a little gap in the middle. This is an adorable series. It's very chill, slice of life. If you want like a real proper slice of life, I would recommend this. It's just about a group of high school girls who go camping, go to different camping spots, different times of the year, picking up the equipment, learning what sort of equipment they need, cooking, and traveling between places. It's just really nice. Another one that I feel like I'm taking a really big breath of air when I read. Definitely would recommend. Very, very lovely. I just need to find my missing ones to be able to continue. Land of the Lustrous 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. I bought the first one, I want to say, in store, and then the rest I've been buying second hand. I've read the first one. I find the proportions of the characters really, really creepy, and it has slightly put me off rushing to read more, but the covers, some of these covers are gorgeous. That's such a lovely colour. I think in this world, if I remember correctly, the characters are like made out of gems and minerals, and they're just trying to survive, but there might be an impeding badness that's coming to hurt them. It has actually been a few years since I read my volume 1, so I can't remember completely clearly Also, I think it went on hiatus, so there wasn't a new volume for quite a while. I think one has come out in the recent months, years. I have no idea. Then we have Last Game 1 and 2. I think I did also acquire 3 over December. This is it's a romance when he's already fallen for her and he's kind of like trying to trick her into admitting she's in love, but she's not really interested in that kind of thing. It does remind me a little bit of Kaguya-sama, except the female character is a lot less aware of her own emotions and he's a lot more conniving than Shirogane. And I enjoyed it. I quite like the already fallen at the beginning and we're just kind of waiting it out. Though it's like 11 volumes long. Though I suppose Love is War is like 27. Yeah. Did enjoy it. What I didn't like was this volume had like a good long chunk at the end, which was just a spin-off story. It was a good amount of the volume was just another story that wasn't the main story. And I think it actually said that it was because originally it was going to be a one-shot and then they'd done another like one-shot to make up the pages and they decided to just keep that for the volume instead of trying to rework which chapters went in each volume, which is fine. I just hope it does irk me a little when you get like a third of a volume and it's just a random other one-shot chapter. I'm like, I'm not that bothered. Give her that in another volume, please. Then we have Last Gender 1 to 3, and I think that is complete. I read the first one. It was an interesting read. It was about a whole bunch of different people, different genders, sexualities, orientations, and it's about a bar that is a safe haven for everyone and anyone, regardless of who you are, who you love, that sort of deal, really. And it's just sort of every chapter follows a different person and their walks of life and how they've ended up at that bar, what's caused them to need to go there. And I wouldn't say it's like the most jolliest of reads. They are plastic wrapped. There are some explicit scenes, but it was an interesting read. So I'm looking forward to reading the rest of the series. And we have Last Round Authors 1 and 2. That is complete at 2 volumes, weirdly. The light novel is much, much further ahead, which doesn't bode well. I actually only picked up the first manga recently-ish. I got the second one ages ago in a sale section, I know, for a whole $1.99, and I think I actually paid a similar price for this one, second hand. I don't have high hopes, I don't know anything about it, and I haven't read it yet. Lazy Dungeon Master Volume 1. I haven't read this yet. I thought originally it might be an isekai. I don't think it is. I think it's just sort of a fantasy dungeon slice of life-ish. Maybe romance? I don't know yet. Also very behind. There's a lot of these out now. Then we have some LDK 1, 2, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, 17, 18. Got a load of these secondhand and some of them in sale sections in stores. I haven't started reading it yet, though. Actually, no, I think I got this one on Sci-Fi, but the rest I've got on sale and stuff. It is trickier to find. It's also a series where Caketinz started doing this 2-in-1, but looks like singles, which does suggest it started to not sell very well. So I don't imagine there'll be a reprint, so I do need to try and hunt this down soon-ish. Then we have the Zelda manga, Ocarina of Time Part 1 and 2, Majora's Mask, Four Swords 1 and 2, The Oracles, Minish Cap, Phantom Hourglass, Link to the Past, and Twilight Princess 1 to 11. And actually, I was very, very naughty, and I got the collector's edition, well, the legendary editions as well, because I think they look really, really pretty, and Legend of Zelda is one of my favourite video game series ever. I loved the manga. The manga was one of the first manga series I ever had in my collection, and during the Wobopocalypse, they had these for £5 each, and I was like, I would love to own these as well, just as like collector's items. It's the only time so far that I have willingly bought a series that I already own just for the reason of like displaying. And I'm not even mad at myself, I'm so happy, they look so nice. I've sat down now, but my Ocarina of Time was my first one, and then I did slowly start to get the rest. I think I was up to date with Zelda by the time Minish Cap came out. And Twilight Princess, I remember when this first came out, I had pre-ordered volume 1, and back then I think they'd announced saying it was going to be 4 volumes long, which was crazy. It was going to be the longest Zelda series out of like all of them. I mean, the longest up there is Ocarina of Time at 2, Four Swords at 2. potentially argue Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask could potentially be a 3, but you can kind of read Majora's Mask on its own. And then it got to volume 4 and I was like, yeah, we've definitely not like hit an ending. And I looked it up again and it was like, oh yeah, it's going to be volume 8. And I'm like, okay, got to volume 8. No, that's still not an ending. And I was like, I'm just going to wait it out now and see what happens. And 11 ended up being the final one. And it was crazy because I started collecting this when I was at uni. I had it delivered to my uni house. And this finished only a few months ago. I also had some issues with this volume. They changed a few things around the ending, and to me, it really changed some of the intentions from some of the characters. I did a massive rant about it somewhere. I don't remember where I did a massive rant because I don't really want to spoil it, though the game did come out in 2006. That's actually quite upsetting. Why did I say that? Just there were a few things about it. I think there was like 2 or 3 things, and it was like, why would you change? That's not the point of what the not that to say that though. They probably did like run it by everyone at Nintendo just to check, so it's not like Nintendo's gone, you did what now? But as someone who's played it and like had a whole like, this is what's happened, reading this and then things changing, I was like, how dare they? Anywho, rant over. Level 1 Demon Lord and a 1-room hero, 1 to 3. Very behind on this now. It is about a party of heroes defeat the Demon Lord, but the Demon Lord is able to be reborn. They just need to sort of hibernate for a while. In this meantime, the hero has kind of just become a shut-in, doesn't really do anything. The Demon Lord is like, this is not acceptable. I will come and make you do better. And then ends up moving into his room to try and improve him as a person. But they haven't had a full rest yet, so they're still kind of looking like a kid and they're not as powerful. It's a silly fantasy. It's fine. It can be a fun read, but I wouldn't call it outstanding. Les Mis First Omni, not yet read it. I got it on sale, I think, for £10 from World of Book, and it RRPs at like 21, 20 in store, I think. 16? What's it in store? I don't remember. Let's Go Karaoke is a one-shot. I wasn't that keen on it. It was okay. I liked the neonness on the spine and the cover more. It's about a kid who's convinced by this guy in the Yakuza to teach him how to sing for like a karaoke competition they have, and they kind of grow close and other things happen. Nothing like untoward. It's not plastic wrapped, but it's like, I just wasn't into it, to be fair. I don't think it was like bad or good. Then we have Levius and Levius Est 1 to 10. Levius is a one-shot chunky volume, which I paid £5 for on World of Books. That's right, it has got a bit of a rip at the top, but I really don't care, considering it's like a 20 quid book. And 1 to 10 of this is a spin-off. They are complete. I have not yet read it. Life Turned Upside Down, My Dad's an Alcoholic is a one-shot that I haven't yet read. I do want to read more from this mangaka as well. I just need to get round to it. Let This Grieving Soul Retire. Woe is the weakling who leads the strongest party 1 to 3. Also behind. I didn't think it was that good. Wait and see it in sale sections. Fantasy about a guy and his friends who form a party. Everyone gets really strong, really powerful. He does not. He wants to leave the party because he feels like he's bringing them down. They're like, no, why don't you just become our like admin, our like guild leader? You can do all the paperwork and everything. So even though he's really, really super weak, he's still a part of this really, really strong party. So everyone thinks he's really strong, but actually he's not. He's a bit shit. It's fine. It's okay. I wouldn't rave about it. I think it has a light novel. Let's Dance the Waltz 1 to 3. That is complete. I haven't started reading it. All my volumes I think I got second hand. Let's Buy the Land and Cultivate It in Another World Volume 1. I was looking at going, I haven't read this. Actually, I think I have read it. Oh, that really does bode well for it, doesn't it? It is actually really, really similar to Farming Life in Another World. I think the art's a bit nicer, and he ends up snagging a mermaid as a wife instead. It was fine. It is quite similar. I'd say it's a little less... I feel like the main character has a bit more emotion than the Farming Life one. He seems completely like, I literally give no F's about anything but farming, whereas he seems a bit more like trying to cultivate social relationships and stuff like that. Cultivate. I just realised what I said. That was not intentional. It's okay. Yeah, I'm very behind now. There's quite a few volumes out. with an ordinary guy who reincarnated into a total fantasy knockout volume 1. Not yet read it, and I actually picked it up a couple months ago only. I think there's still another volume out. Like a Butterfly 1 and 2, 3 came out recently. I've kind of enjoyed it in that it's nice seeing a relationship between two introverts. I feel like we get a lot of extroverts, not an outrovert. We get a lot of extroverts in high school romances, even if it's only one of them. It's kind of nice reading two very awkward, shy people now in this relationship. Oh dear, I'm just knocking everything over. Also, it's the same manga as Shortcake Cake and Sign of Affection, and I really liked one of them and really didn't like the other, so I'm interested to see where this series ends up falling. But I liked Shortcake Cake till like halfway through the series, and then there was something that happened that I didn't like, so I'm worried this could do the same thing. Then we have Lynx, which is a one-shot. I really didn't like this volume. It was actually one of my least favourite reads in 2022. It focuses on 8 different couples, and my issue is a lot of the couples look really, really similar, and I had no idea what was going on. A one-shot isn't long enough for me to establish and understand and know who the characters are, remember their names. So when we changed from one chapter to another and there were 2 characters that looked really similar, I thought he was just cheating on his boyfriend, and I was like, hang on, what's happening? And it was only like towards like halfway that I realised, no, these are 8 different people. Now, if you do go into the back, there's like character bits where they're like, here is the characters and their names and stuff, but like, I'm already at the end of the volume at that point. It just made it really awkward to follow along, and I understand in theory what it was going for, but everyone just looked too similar, and I just couldn't remember their names. Liquor and Cigarettes is a one-shot that I have not yet read. Little Witch Academia 1-3, now it's complete. Though I would say, I think the anime came first. I would say probably go for the anime. Volume 3 just kind of ends quite abruptly in my opinion, and which is a shame. It would have been nice if it continued on. I think the anime does continue on. It is just about a girl who attends an academy to learn to be a witch. It's very nice, it's very pretty, but I think the ending kind of went, and we're done. It's like, what? It does one of those, and the little witch had a great time with her friends, and they went on lots of adventures. The end. It's like, hang on, that's such a cheating way. Living Room Matsunaga-san 1-11, that is complete. I had kind of mixed feelings on this series, because as I said, age gaps, for me, it depends how they handle it. I think it could have been handled a little better in this one. I did like that at the end we got a slight, well, is it a spoiler? Fast forward, we got like a skip along in time about what ultimately happened like a few years on. I think I did still enjoy it. I did like it. There was just 1 or 2 points I think where something should have been addressed and it wasn't, but otherwise I did like it. Livingstone 1-4, that is complete. Completed it recently, a mix of sci-fi and secondhand, but I haven't yet read it. Log Horizon 1 and Log Horizon West Wind Brigade 1-11. This is based on the main series, unfortunately got cancelled after 1 volume, and this is a spin-off, and that is complete at 11 volumes. Both Ben has read the light novel, is up to date with the light novel. We may never get more Log Horizon light novels in English, unfortunately, because of the writer, but he has enjoyed both. He enjoyed both of these. He said it was a shame there was only 1 of these before it got cancelled, and it would be nice to see more spin-offs, but hey ho. I love the colour gradient on this, the black and the colour. Oh, good. And the pastels, pastel purple and pink. Oh, yes. Okay, next we have Lone Wolf and Cub, and we have a whole lot of this. I think we have 1-16, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, and 27. And all of this I have managed to accumulate this year, mostly from Wilder Books during its glory days. I think I'm missing 17, 19, 25, 27, and it's complete at 28. One of the reasons I really wanted to gun for this series was I was talking to my manager at work about manga, and he said, I'll come back to me when you have Akira or Lone Wolf and Cub, and I saw a bunch of this on Wilder Books like a week later, and I was like, excellent, I'm going for it. It was pretty much within like 2-3 weeks I managed to grab all of these. I think the most expensive volume was £6. Most of them were between £2 and £4 each, which I'm pretty pleased with. I think some of them were even, they might have even been cheaper than that. So I am on the hunt to get the last few that I need. Also, it's had a variety of reprints over the years, trying to make sure you get the right edition, because some of them are omnis, some of them are like 1.5, I'm not sure. But there's different variations of prints, and this is the print I'm trying to collect, and it's like trying to make sure you get the right one. You can even see on some of these, there's like different Dark Horse logos. I personally don't care about that. I just want to make sure they're like the same height, the same edition. Also, look at all the different colours, aren't they nice? I think a couple of these, like this one, I think that one's sun damaged. I think that's actually meant to be a different colour, but I don't mind too much. It's actually slightly difficult to tell, I say, unless you know it's not that colour. I think it's difficult to tell. Next we have Look Back, which is a one-shot. I didn't like this. It was very sad. I know a lot of people like it. Again, it's just not my kind of thing. It made me feel really, really sad about a person who draws manga panels and used to draw their friend. And I just got really, really sad reading it. I don't like that. Then we have Lord Hades' Ruthless Marriage, Volume 1. Very kindly given to me by Yen Press. I really like this. At first, I thought it was just going to be another Hades Persephone sort of awkward romance, and it isn't quite. It's a little different. So this character here, her name isn't Persephone, I've forgotten what it is, but she is in kind of that role, and she's in the underworld being like trying to just explore or something. Hades has unfortunately been struck by an arrow by Cupid, or love person. Eros, not Cupid. He's struck by Eros, and says that the first person he looks upon he'll fall in love with, so he's wearing this blindfold. Fortunately, he goes into his room, takes his blindfold off, but someone has snuck in, and he ends up looking at her, and the arrow goes away. And he'd said that whoever can remove the arrow, I'll give a wish, and she says that her wish is for him to choose a consort. So then the rest of the volume is like every chapter is a different goddess turning up to try and explain why they should get married and how it'll work out, and silly foibles happen along the way. It's kind of neat. It's fun. If you're into like your gods and stuff, you might enjoy this. I definitely did, and I will definitely be picking up some more. Oh, the cat toys are down here. Then we have Lost Side London Volume 1. I picked this up in Travelling Man's sale section. I haven't read it. I probably want to get the rest of the volumes before I do. I hear it's a mystery, and I do like to binge mysteries. Love and Heart 1 to 8, and getting 9 for Christmas. This is almost complete. I did really, really love it at the beginning because I love the like really dark, seedy, red flag romance. All the concerns, all the red flags. Terrible, terrible relationship. But things are starting to come to a close and I'm losing interest. So I'm kind of glad we're nearly at the end. Really glad. Then we have Love and Lies 1 to 8, 10 and 11. Just need 9 and I think the last volume before it's complete. It's actually another series, I believe, when there are multiple endings, so there are multiple volumes. I really hate they've got the same number though. I wish they did a We Never Learn and just gave them consecutive numbers, because how do I put that in my spreadsheet? So yeah, I think it's a romance. I haven't started reading it, but I think there's 2 like volume 12s or volume 13s, I can't remember which one's the last one, just with a different partner ending. Then we have Love at 14, 2 to 9 and 11. A load of these I got really recently in Forbidden Planet Leads for $2.99 a volume. I want to say like, I can't remember which exactly, might have been like all of these, I want to say. I already have volume 11. I started reading it, don't have volume 1, but that sort of price, I'm quite happy. And then we have Love Hina 1 to 14. That is complete. This is like one of the oldest manga series in my collection. Volume 1 was the first ever manga I read. I got the first 3 of this and the first 2 of Naruto, and I have read these 3 so many times. I know it's a horrendously problematic series. I know there's so many issues about it. For me, it has that nostalgia, and it like, this was enough to hook me into manga, this and Naruto, I suppose, and I do love it for that. I ended up buying loads of these secondhand whilst I was at uni. This was one of the, I started to buy more secondhand. That was at uni. It started to get quite bad because they always post them individually. So I remember my housemates being like, Caitlin, the post lady is just pushing book after book through the door. I was like, I'm sorry. I haven't actually finished reading my physicals, but I had read it online back then, way back then, back in day when I was still a young youth.
Thank you so much for watching part 8 of the manga collection tour. We are now halfway through. Thank you so much. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in part 9.